bringing you the best Eagles basketball coverage. This is Creature Report.
What's up, and welcome into the Screecher Report podcast. This is Russell Kelly on the mic, joined by Elliott Cressy. Again, Screecher Report podcast. You can follow us on all that crap. We are here for another post-game pod. It's been a while. It's been a long while, and it's felt like it too, because, well, our Eagles are in a bit of a slump, and by a bit, I mean a huge f***ing slump. A really big slump.
Lovely lady slump.
A lovely lady slump. I stole that joke from Elliott. And yeah, it kind of sucks. So I'm gonna get straight into it. We're post game FGCU versus UNA. They've lost 4 straight before tonight. Well, now they lost 5 straight. And you know what really sucks too is because we're both here. We don't both get to go to every game at this point in our 30-year-old lives. But you know, we're both here tonight. It's a really fun college basketball game. The crowd was insane. It was amazing. Lots of just hype and cheering and good basketball. A lot, you know, there was plenty of good basketball, good moments. We'll get to that in a bit. And it was exciting, great basketball game. And then now I got to be pissed off and mad and annoyed that we didn't win. It's like I want to appreciate the good basketball game with a win. Final score was an overtime game that we lost 87-85. Isaiah Thompson led our team with 24 points. That was off of 6 3-pointers, 5 of which came in the first half, I believe, if not very early in the second half. He sent us to overtime on a sexy floater. But again, it's all just kind of a tease at this point. Chase Johnston came up huge. He had 21 points on the night. Played really well in overtime, especially scoring some clutch shots. But you know, plenty of other good performers. But it was ultimately just like it has been recently. It hasn't been enough, and I'm sad at that. I'm annoyed at it. There's so many. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, really. But let me pass it to you, Elliott. Elliott kept a log of his thoughts, so he's going to touch on some of those. It's kind of interesting in a game like this where we end up losing because, you know, how does the game start and how does it sort of evolve? So we'll give you a little kind of inside look at that. But, Elliott, what are your thoughts on the game, and what were your written thoughts on the game?
Oh, excuse me. My voice is hoarse because I was cheering a little bit at the end there because I really wanted a FGCU dub. We didn't get it, but I'm going to start with a hot take. That was a great game. Not a great outcome, but that game brought me back to a moment in FGCU basketball live that I haven't felt in a while. It had a little bit of that at the USC game when USC came to our house. What was it 2 years ago?
Yep.
No? Yep. That was the last closest that Alico Arena has felt like that for a men's game. So that was awesome. Back and forth, all around good play. But now the ugly. The ugly is we've lost 5 straight. The ugly is we started the season 12-3. And now we are 14-11. So I don't know what the issue is, man. I don't want to dive into too many stats. I think, like I said, I thought everyone played very well this game. I thought this has been going on for some while now, and you agree with me too, Russell, is some of our offensive takes and possessions have been some weird shots, weird looks, kind of like, I don't know if it's like a confidence thing or just there's no flow, but whenever we get those weird takes, that leads to offense on the other team immediately, usually a fast break. And I saw that multiple times tonight. I'm checking my notes now. You know, the first 5 minutes, I was saying all FGCU. Everyone was smooth with it. We had a 15-2 run to open the game 5 minutes in. But then at the 11 11:30 mark, I started writing down miscommunication on offense. I saw guys kind of not yelling at other guys, but hey, like, where are you at? You're supposed to be here. And just overall kind of like a little bit of miscommunication and confusedness. That seems to me, what I've witnessed over the last 5 at least, has been some stagnant offense, and I'm not sure what the deal is there. I don't know if it's other teams are stepping up their defense on us, or we're just not able to slash and penetrate, or maybe it's just simply shots not falling. I did hear Coach Chambers say that in one of the previous games post game interviews, that shots weren't falling, and I agree with some of that. But at what point shots not falling, is that bad basketball? Is that bad offense management? Is it bad playmaking? Is it the right people in the game, the right players? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Best start in D1 era, I think it was. And now we're in a slump and kind of fighting to stay alive and actually make the A Sun tourney, which is hard to say at this point. I'll let you kind of give some more comments because I'm at a loss for words other than that at the moment.
Yeah, you're hitting all the nails on all the heads. It's back to your hot take. It's only a hot take because we're mad that we lost, because it was a great game.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm not even really mad. I'm just frustrated because I don't know what the disconnect is. I think our guys are extremely talented, and we've seen that in the first 15 games of the season. So these last, whatever you want, what would it be, like 10?
9 games?
9, 10 games have been like a completely different team, and I don't know what the deal is.
Right, and I think what I've noticed over that stretch, too, is it started out with Zach Anderson missing those couple of games, right? Because early season Zach, and even somewhat recent Zach, right? This team is much worse when he's not on the floor. That's true, even through this losing. But he was able to score when you needed him to score. He's always a lockdown defender, really good rebounder, and we missed him for a couple of games because of a concussion protocol type thing, I believe it was, and it showed. We lost both of those games, and he comes back, and we think it's going to be all great again. The defense comes back. The defense looks better, but then the offense is stagnant, right? We can't find any bit of offense, and we're barely scoring 50 points in a game or 60 points in a game, and then, okay, the offense looks like it's coming back a little bit. We're scoring in the 70s, 80s, and stuff like that, but we can't get a stop. We can't buy a stop, so the defense is gone. And that's kind of in this, I think, where we are right now, a little bit of everything. It's sometimes the defense is just clamping, right? Everybody's playing fast. The other team looks lost, and we get fast break, and we're playing with energy and all of that. But it's to your point, the sort of shot selection that doesn't always looks rushed sometimes. I mean, let's cite today, the last play of the game in overtime. They make 1 out of 2 free throws. We inbound the ball. We run to our their side of the court to try and tie it up or win or something like that. And what happens is we throw up a shot. It wasn't open. It was very contested. Maybe you're looking for a foul there, sure. But are they giving you that foul all game? Is there efficacy in your reasoning for thinking you might get fouled in that situation? I'm not trying to imply that there was or wasn't, but I think it might have been Zach Anderson who swatted it, the missed shot back out, and it ended up being to Chase Johnston on the perimeter. And of all guys you want to shoot a shot like that, it's him, and he shoots it. It's close, but doesn't go in. And somebody was trying to tip it back in because there's no time left, and it was just a bunch of rushed shots, all contested. None of them went in, and it was a stinker. We lost by the 2 points or whatever. It was stuff like that, and it's been like that where when we're playing fast and we're scoring points, and the other team, we're making them play our brand of basketball, but then all of a sudden our playing fast means that we get turnovers, means that they start getting fast break points, and when we miss a shot, it's like our defense doesn't get back in time sometimes, or we have to start playing. Like UNA today wanted to slow things down a bunch. We were trying to play fast, but every time they had the lead, we had no choice but to play their game. And we had the lead most of the game, but as soon as they got it, it was really hard for us to take it back. And I don't know. I think this game was kind of it was almost an all-in-one of the struggles that have been happening for the team over this rut.
I'd agree. It's like we are so close to like passing that brink of like the lid, that this game kind of represented like us getting to the lid, but the lid's still on, and we haven't gotten past that to blow out and really find our identity. I hate saying this stuff, but credit to UNA. Like, their energy was high all night. They could have folded at the overtime buzzer beater that IT hit, because all the momentum went to us at that point. I thought for sure we were going to kind of seal the deal, but they shot 54% the whole game, which is incredible. I mean, they were knocking shots down, playing really high intensity. Teams step up when we play them. I mean, the A-Sun has evolved and become a much better conference than what it was, and the talent level is a lot higher. It's no excuse, but it's good basketball. It's becoming a really tough conference. A couple positives before we either wrap up or touch on something else that comes up. But again, the atmosphere was awesome. We talked about that, but shout out to the student section. They were really into it. One of the funny moments that I want to highlight was when Dakota was playing defense on a UNA inbound. He started going, "Woo, woo, woo," to like get the UNA guy rattled, and all the students behind us and kind of in front of Dakota were started going, "Woo, woo, woo," and it was a bunch of Ric Flairs all at once, just wooing. And for the subsequent possessions, it happened every time. That's the kind of energy I would love to see every home game. I know it's unrealistic with Christmas break, spring break, all that stuff, but it was refreshing. It was electric. It made it fun. To add to that, I had a note late in the second half, about 12 minutes remaining. All our guys were smiling at each other. There was smiles all around. Like, it was fun basketball. The whole game was great. I just don't know what it is. Where is that disconnect? I'm sure that's what Chambers is scratching his head over, what our guys are scratching their head over. They know they got it in them. It's just a work in progress. I don't have much more to say.
No, I don't have much more either. I mean, I think we're fair with players and stuff, right? Because we see them, we know the work that they put in and all that kind of stuff. So like I don't see like a player that I'm like, this guy needs to change what he's doing. This guy needs to, think before he does this, right? I don't see like too much of that with this team. So I think, like you're saying, that sort of just adds to the frustration. I think in years past, you can kind of point to a guy like, hey, I don't think this guy needs as many minutes as he's getting, or this other guy needs more minutes. You kind of have those suggestions as a fan, whether you're qualified to think that or not. You're still allowed, right? You're a fan. I don't necessarily have that, which is why it makes all this perplexing. But yeah, I mean, I guess I don't want to downplay. It's really impossible to downplay the frustration of like, the best start in program history, and now just a terrible like last 9-10 games. I think it's like 2-8 or 2-7 or something in the last whatever. But I'm not downplaying that at all. All I'm saying is that this is a team that beat USC earlier this year. Now, I'm the first to say that it's college basketball. You can beat anybody and you can lose to anybody. So even if that was a fluke, which I don't necessarily think it was a fluke. I don't think we would beat them, most of the time out of 10. But, I think that we saw it, right? They have it in them to play good basketball. We've seen them beat good teams. We've seen them play really well against the top teams in the conference. But yeah, like
It wasn't like guys were like shooting trash shots and we shot terrible and it was bad basketball. Like, it was good basketball. Whether or not our opponent is UNA or USC, either team can step up and like, I don't know.
yeah, I know.
The end result is trash, but
Yeah. And so I guess my final point with that is that there are 7 like conference regular season games left. It sounds like not a lot, because it isn't, but it's also enough time, as long as, those wheels of change start changing now, whatever it is, whatever I can't identify because it's not my profession. Whatever needs to click, whatever, and it's never one thing, right? It's a big mishmash of things, but whatever needs to change, as long as that starts happening soon, like, they can figure it out. As long as, like, it's all about making the tournament, and that's not absolving any of the struggles, but I guess it's just me as a fan trying to be optimistic and hopeful, because there's time, there is, but it's got to happen now.
that's a very valid point. You're looking at it as a fan right now, and I was kind of looking at it as like a objective. But as a fan, yes, it's extremely frustrating, because if I put my fan hat on, I'm like bragging to friends like, hey, we're 12-3, like, we're doing really well, and now the last 10 we're like 2-8 or whatever it is. So as a fan, yeah, it's frustrating. I don't know what's happening, but
That's going to wrap it up here. I think you're going to... This podcast will be right in front of your face come probably Monday morning. You have a couple days before the next game and stuff to stew on it. But, as always, never think it's weird to reach out to us. If there's something you see when you watch the game that you think is the reason or something, we're always up to hear thoughts, to debate, something you want us to talk about on a future pod, questions you might have. You could be anonymous. You could tell us your name, DM, direct tweet, fax, as always, facsimile. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at Screecher Report, FGCU Screech Report. I don't remember. Instagram, Screecher Report's what you're listening to. Yeah, you can follow Elliott at, Elliott Cressy. You can follow me at Viva La Russell. But anyways, follow us on all the things. Listen to us on all the things. Wings up, go Eagles.
oh, excuse me.